Hey there boys and girls, my name is Kyle, better on the YouTubes as Blinkcraft, and today for our interaction design series we're going to talk about breadcrumb trails. Now a breadcrumb trail is a single line of dynamic text or visual links. They're used to show the path that the user has already taken and how they've gotten to the location where they're currently at. Breadcrumbs need to act as a secondary navigational aid and should not compete in any way with the primary navigation scheme. It's generally good practice to use breadcrumb trails only when there are two or more pages that need to be linked together. So what does this really boil down to? Well, basically you need to find out if adding a breadcrumb trail will enhance the user experience of your website. If you have a link to your contact page in your main navigation, you don't really need a breadcrumb trail showing how they got there, seeing how they can always just go back to the main navigation, which should be on every page, and then just get back to the contact page. Web pages such as the Google Docs page that I'm currently running the script on, they don't need breadcrumb trails as long as there's a specific and clear-cut way to return to the previous page. In Google Docs example, opening a new doc will open in a new tab. I don't need a breadcrumb trail leading me back to the other tab so that I can just close the one I'm in. So let's talk about when you should be using a breadcrumb trail. In the Google Drive example, we can see a breadcrumb trail when we dive deeper into more folders on the drive. Up at the top, you'll see a breadcrumb trail that lets us quickly jump back to a previous folder. On news sites, there might be a link in the main navigation that goes to a stories page. However, once you're there, you might be presented with current stories, and then choose an option for maybe a year, a month, and then maybe even a specific story for that month. This is when it's a good idea to design a breadcrumb trail, since you don't want your users to have to go back to the main stories page every single time. If we offer a breadcrumb trail, we can have the options home, stories, 2017, January, and then their current story that they're on. And if they want to go back to see other stories from January, they can just click on January to jump back to it. You can also find a lot of breadcrumb trails on product pages. Typically you'll see home, store, product, selection type, and then that product details. If they're not on the right product they want, but they want to go back to the selection, they could click on selection, they could click on product, or they could just go back to the overall store. Usually when I'm designing breadcrumb trails is when I'm designing a template style design site and I'm filling in the content of the web page using information from a database. I would consider that to be one of the major telltale signs that you need a breadcrumb trail. In other cases, once again, it really just comes down to using your tester feedback and seeing what you need to do. You need to watch others interact with your design, and you need to find out where the pain points are. Your most useful tool in user experience design is your users, so use them. If you have any questions or tutorial suggestions, leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you. As always, my name is Kyle, you just learned something cool today, and I'll see you next time.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, hold tight.